Hello and welcome back. In today's video, I'm here to give you my thoughts on quite a lot of information that's come out today. Aasgaard has left Luton. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the 3-0 win away from home against Bournemouth in our first pre-season match. I've just came home from the game. And also give you my thoughts on Jake Richards signing from Exeter. He is our third summer signing of this window. Lots to talk about. I'll try my best to make this video as short as possible. So, Aasgaard has left Luton. He's joined Rangers. What are my thoughts on it? I'm frustrated with Aasgaard and I'm also frustrated with the Norway manager. I think his comments were disrespectful towards Luton and I didn't think were needed at all. I feel like he's basically forced the move to happen, which has then made Aasgaard basically ask his agent, or he's done it himself, to kind of force his way out of the football club because he wants to play for Norway. Norway don't qualify for World Cups every single time, and with the World Cup in 12 months' time, it's a fantastic opportunity for him to get called up. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for some footballers. Some of them get it a couple more times, but you might only get it once. So you need to take that opportunity when it does come about. So I understand it from his perspective. But at the same time, I still think you should put your club football first. I know it's a World Cup. I know it's different. But I don't want a player that's not committed to Luton. I want players that are committed, that are going to help us get back to the Championship. I want players that are committed to winning games of football wearing this Luton shirt. And if he's not committed, then I don't want him here. There's the door. You walk through it. I don't really care. I want committed players at this football club. I felt like last season in the Championship we didn't have committed players. So I don't want the same situation to happen again in League One. The fee is low. It's been reported of £3 million. There is a reason for this, which I will explain in a second. The fee is £3 million, which is the same amount of money which we paid Wigan for Aasgaard when we were in the Championship in that January transfer window. But there is another £1 million potentially to be earned if Aasgaard does hit certain targets. I can imagine there's also a sell-on clause in this deal. I would be absolutely amazed if there was not a sell-on clause. Luton always do a sell-on clause, so I can imagine there's at least 10-20% sell-on. So if Aasgaard does do extremely well for Rangers, which I expect him to do because I don't believe the Scottish Premiership is amazing, but at a club like Rangers, who are one of the biggest in the league, he's going to win a lot of games. He's going to be playing in Europe. He's going to be playing in front of thousands and thousands of fans. Yes, Rangers are a bigger club than Luton. I get that. I understand that. So yeah, under Russell Martin's style of football as well, it will fit Aasgaard extremely well. The actual signing makes sense. I can understand it from a Rangers perspective. And if I was a Rangers fan, I would be very excited on this deal. But it is frustrating because the fee is low. The fee is low because there is a clause in the deal. In order to sign him in January, we agreed to a conditional release clause, something that this club has only ever done in exceptional circumstances, which only got triggered in the event we played League One football this season. So we've only got ourselves to blame. We took a risk on Aasgaard when we were in a poor situation in the Championship. The only way we could get him in was by this clause. We've put the clause in place and then we let ourselves down by getting relegated. We've only got ourselves to blame. He wouldn't have left the football club if we stayed in the Championship. We wouldn't have any problems if we stayed up in the Championship. But it's a shame. It's a shame that the clause was in, but it was the only way we could have brought him to the football club. The club took a risk. Unfortunately, it hasn't paid off. That's football, I'm afraid. Some people are going to moan about this transfer, but at the end of the day, we've only got ourselves to blame. The players got relegated, and we're in a position where some of our good players are now leaving. But at the same time, I don't want players that are not committed. Was he a good player for us in the Championship? Yes, of course. There were good moments. His first touch, technically, he's very good. His dribbling ability is really good. He's shooting. But there were times in the Championship season where he did go missing for large, portions of time in certain games. And he wasn't the complete finished article. There's still many, things he can work on. Lots of development still to do with him. It's just a shame that he's not willing to commit to Luton and become successful with us. All the best for the future, but yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I'm not as devastated if we lost someone like Ali, for example, because if we lost Ali, I would be a lot more devastated. But I understand it. There's a clause in the contract. What else could you do? Now let's talk about the Bournemouth game. We won 3-0. We played 2 different starting 11s in each half. James Shea was the only one that played the full 90 minutes. There were some players missing from the game against Bournemouth. Chong, Burke, Nakamba, Holmes, Alfie Doughty, Brown and Elijah Adebayo. We know Brown and Adebayo are currently injured. Apparently Doughty is also injured. I'm not 100% on that information, but I don't know where the likes of Chong, Burke, Nakamba, Holmes are. I don't know where they are. Sometimes when players miss the first game of pre-season, that is an indication that they are leaving the football club or they have something going on like a knock which they've sustained in the first couple of weeks of pre-season. But I don't know. We'll soon find out next week when the players go to Slovenia, because normally when you do the abroad trip, that's when you have a much more better understanding on who's the future at the football club. And if players are not on that trip, that kind of does mean that they might be leaving the club. I'll let you guys make your minds up on that. Now, in terms of the first half against Bournemouth, we played the 4-2-3-1 formation, which is the same formation which Matt Bloomfield played at Wycombe, which was successful, which is why we appointed him as our manager. Ali looked very good in the first half. He looks extremely fit. I think if you asked him to complete 90 minutes, he would have been able to do it. He was so lively in that first half. Lots of our attacks came down the left-hand side. Walsh looked good in moments with his passing range. Joe Johnson, I thought, combined with Ali quite well at times in the first half. I do think he lacks a lot of game intelligence, and I don't mean that to disrespect him, but I think sometimes with younger players, when they get thrown straight into the first team, they either have that game intelligence or they don't. And I feel like he needs someone next to him to kind of coach him through the game. I don't think Menji being that left centre-back is the right option for him to help coach him through the game, as they weren't really communicating with each other. Where I was positioned in the stadium, I didn't hear them to really talk to each other too much. But I think his game intelligence will get better with more games. Some young players just get it quicker than others. But there were some good moments from Joe Johnson, but he does need some help, I do think, going forward. And our new signing, Jake Richards, was part of the goal which Woodrow ended up scoring. It was a poor back pass by the Bournemouth defender. It fell to Jake Richards. He plays it to Woodrow. Woodrow, really good finish for the first goal. Going at half-time 1-0 up. Then we changed the starting 11. In fact, the formation did change in the second half. We played a 3-4-2-1 formation. Zach Nelson and Fanne being the 2 10s in the system, quite close to Nordas. And then you've got Clark and Saville in the centre-mid partnership, with Isaiah Jones and also Phillips being the wing-backs. Jaden Luca, by the way, academy prospect, did play in the first half, which was good to see, as a right winger. But in the second half, the centre-back partnerships was Cal Naismith, left-sided centre-half, Mans Anderson, Christ Makosso, completing the starting 11. Really good second half, I felt. Fanne was really good. Explosive power, physicalness was really good. It was definitely on display for us to see. Definitely looked really fit. There was definitely a lot more attacking intent compared to the first half. Every time we just looked to go forward. I think this helped with experienced players like Saville, Clark and Naismith in the side. There was a lot more communication in the second half, I noticed, especially from Saville. He was doing some clever things like pointing to where he wanted the ball to go, and also where the players should do their running into the space. It was really good to see that type of communication and instruction on display in this game. And then finally, Nordas, he should have scored 4 goals. Finishing definitely wasn't good enough. Hopefully by next week he's done a couple more shooting drills. But I'm not even joking. He could have scored 4 goals today. Some chances he should have done a lot better with. But look, I'm not going to be too harsh on him. He does have a lot of pressure on him because, of course, some fans are not impressed with what they've seen so far. But hopefully going forward, we start seeing the real Nordas and the real reason why we've actually signed him at the football club. But yeah, definitely a couple more shooting drills in the next couple of weeks. But at least he's getting into the right positions, because sometimes strikers don't even get in the right positions. He was getting in the right place at the right time, but unfortunately just wasn't clinical in front of goal. And finally, the last thing to talk about in today's video is Jake Richards. We have paid some money towards Exeter, like an academy fee, a service fee for Exeter for their development and training with Jake Richards. You have to do that if players actually turn down a contract by their club, which Jake Richards did. He turned down a new deal by Exeter. He's 17 years old. He does turn 18 this year. He likes to get on the ball and dribble. I did witness that quite a bit in the first half against Bournemouth. He, of course, had an impact to our first goal. He's played 32 times across 2 seasons, scoring 2 goals. I don't think an average 17-year-old plays 30 times across 2 seasons in League One if he doesn't have something about him. I think he's got something about him. He's young, he's hungry, he's got some experience. He's got a lot more experience than the likes of Zach Nelson and Walters. So I'm really excited to see what he could do going forward. He can play as a number 10 and also as a centre mid. I think this year for us, he'd be more of a squad player. Exeter fans rate him quite highly. And yeah, after making over 30 appearances at his age, there's definitely a bright future there. And hopefully we get to see this. I think if he can get at least 20 games from us this year, that would be good. And yeah, hopefully, we see him develop. And look, if he performs well when he gets given his opportunity, he might be able to claim a first team spot. And fingers crossed he can do that. He's still young. There's still a lot of development left in his game, of course. But I'm really excited because he could become a really good player one day. And Exeter fans are saying that he's definitely got Premier League potential. So I'm really excited to see how his progression, how his development is going to be in the next couple of years. I actually think he's going to be Aasgaard's replacement. He's pretty much replaced him in the exact position. We're quite stacked in the midfield. We've got Zach Nelson, Fanne, Baptiste, Walsh, Clark, Saville. Now you've got Richards, so you've got quite a lot of midfielders there. We don't need any more. And Jake Richards doesn't actually count towards the final 22-man squad because he's under the age of 21. So I'm really happy that we've managed to bring this young, hungry player who's got a point to prove. And yeah, Exeter fans, they weren't too happy that he joined us. They was expecting him to join a much bigger club, but I think we are a bigger club than Exeter, so I don't know why they're thinking any different. Maybe they thought he would go Championship or Premier League. But anyway, he's playing League One football, hopefully at the top end of League One, competing well for a League One title at the end of the year. Fingers crossed. Lots to talk about in today's video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed what I've said so far. Please smash the like button. I'm live streaming tomorrow, Sunday, 11 AM UK time, to talk about everything that's happened in the last 24 hours in a lot more detail. I think it's the perfect time to do a live stream and also answer any football questions you guys have. Please smash the like button. Let me know your feelings down below. Don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Hopefully we can do it before the season starts. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.